Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story is complicated because it involves another situation with the police where a child ends up dying pretty much at the hands of the police. It's going to be a little bit crazy. And just recently, we did a story where there was a football game where a shooting broke out at the football game between some rival thugs, I guess. And the police were called because they called 911 and asked the police to come out. Oh, we need y'all to help us, police. We need y'all to help us. Please save us. And what did the police do? They came in there and they tried to fix the situation by shooting at the bad people who were shooting the guns, right? It just so happens that these bullets don't have names on them. If they miss their target, they might hit something unintentionally. So in that situation, the police caused a young girl to die. Horrible thing, horrible thing. Her name was, let me see. I forget the little baby's name, but I know she had a very unique name. Fanta, that was the little girl's name. In this situation, I'm going to tell you guys more about the story, and I want to warn you guys, I'm going to say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. So I don't know where you guys stand when it comes to how you feel about the police, how you feel about criminals, how you feel about children. But at the AFC, we advocate for what? We advocate for children first. And I want y'all to look at this beautiful baby boy on my screen here. A very, very handsome young man right here. I've got a few pictures of him. And what happened to him was senseless and it was preventable. And I kind of say not necessarily at the behest of the police, because the police are simply trying to apprehend a criminal and stop him from doing something that could potentially hurt a lot more people. Everybody catch that? This could have hurt a lot more people. So let me tell you guys what happened. There was a man who refused to stop for the Georgia State Patrol troopers, and he crashed, killing a 12-year-old boy, and he has been charged with murder, and that's according to investigators on Monday. At 1:09 a.m. Friday, a state trooper attempted to pull over a Kia Sorento, speeding on Bethel Church Road in Paulding County. The driver pulled over, but refused to lower his window. The state patrol said in an email statement, excuse me, I had a little trouble trying to read that. The trooper then requested help from the Paulding Sheriff's Office, and a deputy quickly arrived. The male driver, who is, I think I just scrolled across his picture. This individual that you see on my screen with that blank stare on his face. This man looks like printing paper. That's what he looks like. He's just blank-faced clown. That's what he is. This male driver, who was determined to be under the influence of alcohol, where are all my people who are, where like my MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers? Do we have any MAD members in here? MADD? Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, Fathers Against Drunk Drivers. Drunk drivers are the worst kind of stupid ass people. Excuse my language. He was determined to be under the influence of alcohol and failed to comply with the deputy and trooper's request to roll down his window and provide his license and other pertinent information, according to Sergeant Ashley Henson with the Paulding Sheriff's Office. At the conclusion of the incident, it was also discovered that the male driver had a suspended license because this stupid SOB was not supposed to be operating a vehicle. Now, I'm going to warn you guys something. I don't want to piss the parents off, but I wonder if the biological parents of this boy knew that this man didn't have a valid driver's license. I'm sorry. I just believe that people who drive vehicles without a valid driver's license, look, if that's the law of the land, just follow the damn land, right? Follow the law. I know you have these so-called alleged sovereign citizens that don't believe that you're supposed to follow the law. In all actuality, I don't really see any good reason why we shouldn't. They help protect us, and they also help us to kind of They really help us in a lot of different ways. Just follow the damn law. Like, why would you not have a license? It was found out that he did not have a valid driver's license. It was then that the Paulding deputy broke the driver's side window out of the vehicle. That's when the driver, who was later identified as 35-year-old Charles Moore, his name is spelled traditionally, 35-year-old Charles Moore fled the scene and drove over the trooper's foot. I bet that probably messed him up pretty bad. So he dipped. He dipped on the police, tried to run. And a high-speed pursuit followed onto the GA-92, where Moore was driving recklessly. The GSP said. The trooper ended the chase near Kilgore Path by using a procedure, a pursuit immobilization technique called the pit maneuver, causing the Kia to exit the road and overturn in a ditch, according to investigators. How many of you guys are familiar with the pit maneuver? Most people should. We're all grown here. We've watched a lot of news. All they do is there is a way that they hit the side rear of the vehicle, which causes it to fishtail. And if it starts to fishtail at most rates of speed, it should cause it to swerve and swerve out, where it will disable the vehicle. But with doing things like this, and especially when somebody's driving at a high rate of speed, bad things can happen. So let me tell you guys what else happened. Deputies and the trooper rendered aid to all three occupants of the SUV. So there were 3 people in the vehicle. So what ended up happening, I don't know if they're going to say it in here, but the vehicle ended up flipping. It flipped on its top side. That's a very dangerous thing. But the backseat passenger, this young boy, 12-year-old Leiden Boykins, and his first name is Leden. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce his name correctly, but I think that's Leiden Boykins, 12 years old. He was killed in the crash, according to the State Patrol. He was not wearing a seatbelt. That is a very, very important fact. That baby boy was not wearing a seatbelt. But that doesn't guarantee that he wouldn't have lost his life, though. But that's just the facts of this case. Moore and the front seat passenger, 14-year-old Blake Zaire, were both taken to the hospital with minor injuries. In addition to murder, Moore has been charged with 31 other offenses. Y'all catch that? 31 other offenses, including vehicular homicide, aggravated assault against a peace officer, which is the running over the foot, DUI, which y'all know that's a very damn serious thing, endangering a child while driving under the influence, open container in a motor vehicle, obstruction of law enforcement officer, driving while license suspended, and reckless driving. Other charges include speeding, improper turn, failure to obey a traffic control device, failure to obey a stop sign, and distracted driving. Somebody in the chat said he deserves every charge. How many of y'all agree with that? Because I do. If you're just getting here, we just started telling this story. Please click that thumbs up if you guys are listening to the sound of my voice right now. I believe that's accurate. I believe he deserves every charge that they could throw at this fool. Because a lot of people are going to try to blame this on the police. They've already started. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to let y'all listen to the family. I think the family's even trying to hold the police accountable, which they shouldn't be. This is not the police's fault that this baby boy lost his life. Now, he's being held late Monday at the Paulding County Jail. In addition to the charges, Moore is facing unrelated charges filed by Henry County and the Covington Police Department. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and let me know what you guys think. Did the police fail here? Did the police do something wrong? Should the police be fired? Should the police be defunded? What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section. Let's go ahead and get it in. Fair use. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right. As a quick reminder, if you guys would do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, it'll help share this story and all of our stories, and it'll let more people know that we're here talking about this. So it'll bring more of our subscribers here. Make sure you guys click that thumbs up. We want to have as many thumbs up as people are watching. Okay? Let's get it in.
911 recordings are giving us a better idea of what was happening during a crash involving state troopers, a crash that killed a 12-year-old boy. His parents spoke with our John Sherrick after listening to the 911 calls.
As Georgia State Troopers were chasing a driver on Highway 92 that they just tried to pull over for speeding Friday morning.
I am afraid. I'm afraid for my life.
The driver was on the phone with Paulding County 911, trying to call the cops on the troopers.
They need to get them off of me right now because I'm scared. I got my kids with me right now.
Inside his car, 12-year-old Leedon Boykins, the son of a family friend, and the driver's own 14-year-old son.
We heard the 911 call.
Leedon's parents, Anthony and Tony Boykins, say the driver should not have sped away from troopers.
He does bear some responsibility. He was pulled over and he had kids in the car.
But they don't understand.
I got my kids with me, man. My God. They trying to flip my car, man.
Why the trooper chose to end the chase with a pit maneuver that caused the crash that killed Leedon.
Read it, no.
Why was he considered so dangerous that they had to flip that car with them kids in there? Why did he make that decision? Why did he decide to flip that car knowing there was kids in there?
Let's pause right there. Let's take a pause for the cause right there. I'm going to let y'all hear this again, what the parents said. I get what they're saying. I promise you, I totally understand. That's why this is a little bit controversial. Let me know what you guys think. And I know most of you guys might be here to hear the news, but the majority of people are here to hear what my opinion is about the news. How many of you guys agree that they're saying, why would the police use the pit maneuver and that was unnecessary? Let y'all hear it again.
Them kids in there. Why did he make that decision? Why did he decide to flip that car knowing there was kids in there?
Let me see. Who said that? Catherine Reynolds says, stop talking and play the video. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. If that's how you feel, then go look up the news channel. Maybe you're one of those people that needs to go read it from a blog or something like that. Because most people are here to hear my voice. Okay? So if you're not here to hear my voice, then this is not the podcast for you. I'm not a newscaster and I'm not here to read the damn news. I'm here to give my opinion about the stupid shit that we continue to keep doing to ourselves. Do you understand? If you want back in my chat, you need to shoot me an email at theafcmatters@gmail.com. Otherwise, you've just forfeited your right to be in my chat. I don't care if it's a troll or not. I get a little bit frustrated with the negativity and the stupid crap that people continue to type in my chat. We are a family unit here, and I like for people to have an opinion. But if you're going to say stupid stuff, I'm just going to get you up out of here. Simple as that, okay? So if anybody else feels that way, then just exit the video. I don't have a rope around your neck, and I'm not forcing you to stay here like a choke chain. I'm not going to sit here and just tell the news. I'm giving commentary about the news, and I'm giving education about how we prevent this stupid crap from going on, okay? Everybody understand? So everybody else that's here should understand why you're here, because I don't want you to think that I'm clickbaiting you into listening to the news and then you came here to listen to my voice. That ain't what we're here for. Do y'all want me to keep going or do you want me to stop? Is there somebody here who is not clear about what my motive is? And yes, I'm a little short-tempered. Absolutely. As long as everybody else is here that understands, then let's go ahead and proceed forward. They actually, and I won't even say that they're a troll. I mean, they paid for a channel membership, but that's on them. If they did that to troll, that's a little bit odd on their part. But anyway, let's keep going. Here's what I want you guys to think about when it comes to this pit maneuver. I want you guys to think about what dangers are presented when a drunk driver is driving around in essentially a weaponized vehicle. Out of control, not in his right mind, not in his clear state of mind. What could happen when somebody drives drunk and you don't physically stop them? What happens? Anybody have an idea? Oh, that's right. They could kill many others. Right? How many of you guys have watched people that are drunk drive their cars into crowds of people that they didn't see? How many times have you guys heard about drunk drivers running into oncoming traffic? Head on traffic. Running off the road, running into buildings, running into gas stations. Yes? How imperative is it when you find out somebody is drunk to stop them? I say pit maneuver. Let's get it cracking. Anybody else in the car is just collateral damage, to be honest with you. Because the dummy who was driving the car took those children's lives and put it in his back pocket as a priority. Huh? Just because you didn't want to go to jail, because you were scared. Well, what about the kids? You got kids in the car. What about the fact that your punk ass wasn't supposed to be driving in the first drunken place? Huh? How about that? This is in no shape, form, or fashion the police's fault. The police should have zero liability for the lives that were lost. We lost one life instead of many lives. Now, did this boy's life matter? Hell yes, it did. But it should have mattered to the fool who had taken possession of these kids to be the responsible adult in his life at that moment. It's his fault to the fullest extent. And it's so funny how I tell all of these different damn stories. Yes, y'all, I can see y'all agree in the chat. So somebody hears what I'm saying. Okay, good. I don't know if we have any mothers against drunk drivers or fathers against drunk drivers in the chat. And thank y'all for joining the channel membership. So clearly somebody understands my point and my message with this. What I'm telling you is something the news cannot do. There is no blog that can tell you what I'm telling you. This has to stop. Constantly screaming and crying wolf. Where does that get you? We keep creating this battle between people and the police. People and the police. If the police are so damn bad, why do y'all punk asses, not y'all, I know it ain't y'all, it's not all, talking in general, okay? People might not get it. But why do people continue to call the police and then complain about the services that you're getting? And I'm going to tell you guys this. If I go to damn Popeye's Chicken and Popeye's continue to serve me some cold, old, boring, nasty-ass chicken, guess what? Not going to be going to Popeye's anymore. How about Uber Eats? If Uber Eats delivers my stuff late, if they got it crunched up, if they bring me the wrong order, if they didn't bring everything that I asked them to bring me, how many times do you think I'm going to continue to keep using Uber Eats? Maybe I ought to get my punk ass up and go get it myself. Police yourselves. Why call the police at all? Every single time they call the police, well, the police should have did this. And there should be a level of accountability on the police's part. Don't get it twisted. But y'all are suing the police. Y'all are getting them fired. You're getting them jail time. The police are being held accountable. But when are we going to start to hold each other accountable for the stupid crap that we're doing to ourselves? This black man is the reason that this black boy is dead. Whose responsibility is it to have told this boy to put his seatbelt on to begin with? It's the adult's responsibility. Because guess what? When the police pull you over and they notice that your passengers don't have seatbelts on, guess who gets the ticket? It's the driver. That boy should have had a seatbelt on, and maybe it could have saved his life. But then again, we shouldn't even have got to this point, because the boy shouldn't have been in the vehicle with somebody who didn't have a license, with somebody who drinks, and he shouldn't have been running from the police.
State Patrol chase policy requires troopers to evaluate all variables, including whether there are children in the car they are chasing, before performing a pit maneuver. The State Patrol is investigating the troopers' decisions. The driver is now facing charges that include murder and DUI. Leedon's parents want the troopers involved held accountable too.
Any car chase, the car chase goes for so long. The police back off when there's people in danger.
Again, the driver now facing charges of DUI and murder. And now all the updates for the rest of this story can be found on 11alive.com.
Murder charges against the driver who led state troopers on a high-speed chase down Highway 92 in Paulding County. Now, this chase ended tragically in a crash, killing a 12-year-old boy inside the car. The troopers are also under investigation, which is routine. This is standard. But the parents say they want everyone responsible to be held accountable. And the parents spoke with our John Sherrick tonight, and he joins us live from Highway 92. John?
12-year-old Leedon Boykins killed here on Highway 92, not far from here, on Friday morning in that high-speed chase. Today, Leedon's parents listened to the 911 call made from inside that car Leedon was in that troopers were chasing.
As Georgia State Troopers were chasing a driver on Highway 92 that they just tried to pull over for speeding Friday morning.
I am afraid. I'm afraid for my life.
The driver was on the phone with Paulding County 911, trying to call the cops on the troopers.
They need to get them off of me right now, because I'm scared. I got my kids with me right now.
Inside his car, 12-year-old Leedon Boykins, the son of a family friend, and the driver's own 14-year-old son.
We heard the 911 call.
Leedon's parents, Anthony and Tony Boykins, say the driver should not have sped away from troopers.
He does bear some responsibility. He was pulled over and he had kids in the car.
But they don't understand.
I got my kids with me, man. My God. They trying to flip my car, man.
Why the trooper chose to end the chase with a pit maneuver that caused the crash that killed Leedon.
Read it, no.
Why was he considered so dangerous that they had to flip that car with them kids in there? Why did he make that decision? Why did he decide to flip that car knowing there was kids in there?
State Patrol chase policy requires troopers to evaluate all variables, including whether there are children in the car they are chasing, before performing a pit maneuver. The State Patrol is investigating the troopers' decisions. The driver is now facing charges that include murder and DUI. Leedon's parents want the troopers involved held accountable too.
Any car chase, the car chase goes for so long. The police back off when there's people in danger.
Leedon's parents finally found out that the GBI has Leedon's body, and they've been promised it will be released to them this week so they can plan Leedon's funeral. And they say they still don't know who identified Leedon on Friday, hours before they say they were officially notified he'd been killed. Ron.
Yeah, you can see why the parents are really upset, looking for answers after a police chase turns tragic. John Sherrick, thanks a lot for that update.
Grief and anger, tears and searing questions about the death of 12-year-old Leedon Boykins Friday morning.
He said, Granny, I'm on my way. I'm almost home. At least can come.
Leedon Boykins' grandmother, Patricia Williams, and his parents, Tony Boykins and Anthony Boykins, certain state troopers could have saved Leedon's life.
My son was in the car, and they knew it.
His parents were in Michigan for a family funeral. Leedon's grandmother, watching Leedon at their Paulding County home, had given Leedon permission this past Thursday to help a close family friend, their neighbor Charles Moore, at his job, along with Moore's 14-year-old son, on the way home. The State Patrol says troopers pulled Moore over for speeding, but that Moore then drove off, speeding again and driving erratically for 3.5 miles down Highway 92 until troopers used a pit maneuver to stop him. Moore's car spun off the highway and flipped upside down. Leedon was killed. Moore and his son survived. Moore is in custody facing charges. The Boykins say it was Moore's wife who told them Leedon was killed, and who told them that when troopers first pulled Moore over, Moore, who is black, had his son call 911.
He told the 911 operator, and he said, I need for y'all to get a supervisor out here. There's too many police cars, and I'm in fear of my life.
Leedon's father, Anthony, says troopers would have seen there were children in Moore's car, and that he drove away while still on the 911 call. Did troopers think they were rescuing the 2 children in Moore's car, and that the pit maneuver was the only way to do it?
But they couldn't put a roadblock up and protect those kids. They couldn't figure out any other way than to flip that car over.
Leedon's parents say no one in law enforcement has ever notified them he was killed. And now they say no one will tell them where Leedon's body is or when he'll be released to them. We are working to reach the State Patrol to get answers to questions Leedon Boykin's heartbroken loved ones need now.
We have brand new details tonight in the crash that killed a 12-year-old boy in Paulding County. Nearly 1 month ago, state troopers used a pit maneuver to stop a car during a chase that killed 12-year-old Leedon Boykins. Tonight, we hear the trooper's perspective in a report released just hours ago. The trooper says the driver was speeding, so he followed him. He says the driver seemed drunk and tried to avoid the trooper. He pulled the car over and says the driver refused to show his license and had alcohol on his breath. The trooper said he did not see anyone in the back of the car when he pulled the car over. He writes in the report, the only other thing I noticed inside the vehicle was someone in the passenger seat. I was unable to clearly see if anyone was in the back seat due to the window tint. He says he requested help from Paulding deputies. The driver refused to get out of the car and started a chase that led up to that crash. An investigation found an open beer and 2 empty flasks were inside that car. The report says the driver had a suspended license and 2 active warrants out for his arrest. He's now facing murder and DUI charges.
Here's where the education needs to come in on my behalf. Here's what we got to understand. We could always look at the end result and say that the end result shouldn't be the end result because of this thing or this thing or this thing. The police shouldn't have done this. The police shouldn't have done that. They should have saw this. They should have saw that. And I got to give a shout out to my father. I don't know if he's watching. Maybe he'll type something in the chat. I don't know. But I'm going to give credit to my father because my father has been the biggest catalyst for teaching me the lesson of holding yourself accountable, being in charge of your destiny. Let me explain for you guys. If I were in this situation, guess what my dad would be telling me? You know what he would tell me? He'd tell you, son, why was your license suspended in the first damn place? What were you doing to get your license suspended? And if your license was suspended, then your butt shouldn't have been in a damn car. Point number 1. Point number 2, you know it's against the law for you to be drinking in the car and driving, especially being under the influence. Why would you be drinking and driving knowing that it impairs your thinking and ability to be rational, to make proper decisions? Point number 3, why did you have children in the car with no seatbelt on as the responsible adult? These 3 things would have prevented this baby's death. Why? Because now it puts the responsibility on the jerk-off who put this baby's life in danger to begin with. And then ask yourself, if none of this happens, if he's not driving, if he's not drunk, if he don't have these kids in the car, does he ever reach the police? Would this pit maneuver ever have happened if he never even got to this point? Remember, we're talking about preventative measures and holding people accountable for putting themselves in these bad choices, in these bad situations. The only way we're going to get better in this world is if you start holding the individuals who make stupid choices accountable for their stupid choices. Now, does that mean that we don't hold the police responsible? It's not what I'm saying at all. If the police actions cause a life to be lost, especially a youth, in this situation, it was this 12-year-old boy. Will they be held accountable? Yes, they are. It sucks that the police are constantly thrown into these situations and forced to use judgment calls based on the law in order to save other people's lives. Because I'm going to tell you, if this man took off running, if they would have just let him keep going, I can guarantee you somebody else was going to die. They were going to go head on and hit somebody else, blowing through stoplights, blowing through stop signs, blowing through construction zones when there could have been construction workers out there working. Let me tell y'all a little bit about my pain. Can I tell y'all a little bit about my pain? You guys want to know how I lost my grandfather? He was hit by somebody driving a car while he was working as a street worker, as a construction worker in the street. By a stupid SOB just like this. But who's going to cry for my grandfather? Who's going to really cry for this little boy whose life was taken by the man who was left in charge of his life? Now, granted, I'm not sure if the family really knew about that man's history, about him drinking and driving, because that's the type of thing you don't just wake up and start doing. I'm sorry, but I don't think you just wake up one day and just decide to just start drinking out of nowhere. That's usually a pattern behavior. That's usually somebody with a drinking addiction. Yes? That's usually something that is a long-going problem, which is something the family may have been aware of and maybe they weren't. But if they trusted this man enough to have their son with him, I'm assuming that they had to have known this character a little bit. Maybe you knew he was just a little bit of a lush. Somebody who liked to drink just a little bit too damn much. Somebody who was just a little bit too damn irresponsible. He couldn't even take care of his damn self, let alone two other children in the car. But you know what? This is a perfect moment for us to put the responsibility on that man's, put the blood literally on his hands. We can wash our hands with this and call it a day. And the police save somebody else's life. They save some other children's life. They save some other mother's life. They save some other father's life. They save some other innocent family members, law-abiding citizens who were actually driving and doing the correct things, and saved them from the carnage that this man was about to present to them that day. I want to wish this baby boy an RIP, because that sucks. This young man could have grown up to become something great, and his family was robbed of that opportunity to see him grow up and become something great. And I hope everybody understands. I know emotions are high, but I hope you listen with an open mind as well as an open heart, and understand that we are here to advocate for children first. And to this boy, 12-year-old Leiden Boykins, young prince, RIP. Please make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so we can continue to bring you guys more educational stories, more true crime stories, and hopefully we can end silly madness like this and put our anger and vitriol where it belongs. Thank you. Thank you so much. We got an amen in the chat. How about that? That's awesome. I'm glad some people understand. I know my message can be a little bit hard to hear sometimes, but I'm thankful that somebody out there is listening. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story involves yet another house fire. It's making me believe that a lot of these house fires, I don't think they're random. I really don't. Maybe some are, but it becomes really suspicious when you see all of these house fires popping up, and then in conjunction, you start seeing all of these GoFundMes start to pop up for people who did not have life insurance, which is the responsible thing to do, to have life insurance on your children, because whenever somebody passes away, the family circle needs to be taking care of those burials, because we all are going to pass away. It's the life circle. That's the way it works. But why put that responsibility off on society? That's always been my message. And I'm glad for those who understand why I stress get life insurance. And stop hoping for crowdfunding to take care of your burials. Because, yeah, y'all will see a couple GoFundMes here and there that'll get these inordinate amounts of money for burials that they really are exceeding the amount that they'll need for those burials. But we all know what that's about. But then you'll have hundreds, if not thousands, of other stories that never get funded. Then you're sitting there looking crazy, twiddling your thumbs like, well, how's we gonna pay for this funeral, y'all? Well, we could just be responsible. This story comes out of South Carolina in a place called Rock Hill. Now, I'm not familiar with South Carolina. I don't know if that's a big place, but South Carolina takes the L today. South Carolina, please come to the front of the congregation. Bond was denied for an alleged mother in Rock Hill, who police say is charged with setting her own house on fire while her baby was inside the house. Y'all take a look at my screen. Matter of fact, here's what I want to do. Just because this baby is just an extra level of cute, this baby is extra beautiful, here's what I want to do. I want to make sure that you guys feel this story and understand why I get so upset with having to report these stories and the stupidity that we continue to do to ourselves. Look at that baby girl. Precious little angel. And it breaks my heart. Sorry. It breaks my heart that this baby lost her life for by far the stupidest reason I have ever heard of. This baby is 7 months old, and her name is Brianna. I'm going to tell you her story. This baby lost her life because her mother set the house on fire while this baby was inside and left, leaving the baby to die. But this story gets really, really dumb, really, really fast. So brace yourselves. If you guys are here to just listen to the news, then this is not the channel for you. I'm sorry, I'm not a news station. I'm here to give my commentary and my opinion about the stupid crap going on in the news, okay? I'm going to say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. On Friday, crime scene tape was up in front of the home on Sanders Street. Firefighters rescued the baby from the home and rushed her to the hospital, but it was clearly too late for this baby to survive. 7-month-old Brianna Henderson passed away from this burning house incident. The mother, this young man or young lady, whatever it is, 30 years old, Laquita Henderson. Let me get Laquita's face back up on the screen, because I'm sorry. When I saw this, I was like, why would this young man do something like this to this beautiful little baby? And then I realized, I said, oh, they said mother. And I was like, well, damn. I'm like, that looks straight like a dude. That looks like one of my drinking buddies. That looks like a dude that I used to spar with in Taekwondo back in the day. That looks straight like a boy. That looks like a boy, Damon. I'm sorry. 30 years old, life has not been kind to your face. My goodness. 30 years old, Laquita Henderson has been arrested, so of course she's been caught and charged with second-degree arson. I don't even like that. What does it take to get first-degree arson? They said second-degree. That doesn't even sound right. I don't even know what first-degree arson is. But this seems like it should be first degree, not second. But let's keep going. Adam Turnbull said his relatives lived in the house and he was going to grab his backpack Thursday night when he saw multiple police cars and fire trucks lining the street. I'd never seen anything like that. I mean, this whole block from end to end was just covered in lights, and all that I knew was something was really wrong. And when they told me you can't even grab your book bag, I knew it was for real. It got to my heart when I heard that a baby was inside the house, and this is according to neighbor Donella Bloodsaw, who lives a few houses down from the one on fire. And I'll show you guys her interview. She knows the father of the baby who died in the house very well. She said she says he works on her house from time to time. So upon hearing the news the little Brianna was gone, she said it hurt her to the core. It was just heart-wrenching because you hear about the baby and something like that can just go on doors down from where you live at. For Turnbull, it was not doors down, but the house, as he says, but at the house his family stays at and where he works sometimes. He approached the porch, still filled with Brianna's baby toys, and he recalls it like a bad dream he was trying to wake up from until police snapped him back into reality. I was just in shock because of what I heard, what happened, but wasn't sure if it was real, and they confirmed that it was. Unfortunately for him and his family, something he says they are still processing right now. I don't know if everybody was okay. As for Bloodsaw, she said, excuse me, I cannot read today. I'm sorry. She is turning her thoughts to a higher power so the family can be at peace. She says, I pray for him, and you just know it's really sad. And the mother is being held in Moss Justice Center, and police are saying that more charges could be filed. This should be a first-degree murder charge. This should be a first-degree arson charge as well. Easily a life sentence. This should be a slam dunk. But the fact that they haven't announced it yet, maybe I don't know. But let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys are listening to the sound of my voice, do me a favor. Please look down. Look at how many people are watching. Please click that thumbs up. We want to match that to make sure and share this baby story. If y'all would do that for me, that would be awesome, okay? And I don't want any of y'all to look at me crazy if I take this piece of paper, because I'm about to smack this fly if I see him settle down here in another moment, because this fly is getting on my nerves. So I don't want y'all to look at me like, what was Jay doing? Smacking a fly that then got loose in my apartment, okay? All right, here we go. Let's get it.
And developing in Rock Hill, a mother now in custody after authorities say she started the fire that killed her own child on purpose. Crews were called to the fire at Sanders Street earlier today. When they got to the scene, 30-year-old Laquita Henderson told them her infant was inside. The child died later at the hospital. Officials say they determined Henderson was responsible for setting the fire. She is now facing second-degree arson charges. New here 5, investigators say a Rock Hill mom set a house on fire while her baby was inside. 7-month-old Brianna Henderson was pronounced dead at the hospital. Her mother, 30-year-old Lakita Henderson, is charged with arson, and police say she could face other charges as well. WCNC Charlotte's Indira Esquiva has the latest on the investigation.
Yeah, this is the house on Sanders Street where firefighters found baby Brianna. On the outside, it doesn't look like there's much damages, but firefighters say on the inside, it's a different story. This is 7-month-old Brianna Henderson. Her father, who didn't want to be on camera, shared the photo, saying she was a loving baby who was just learning how to crawl. Donella Bloodsaw also lives on Sanders Street in Rock Hill.
It was terrible. It got to my heart when I heard that a baby was in a house.
Investigators say on Thursday, 30-year-old Laquita Henderson told authorities her home was on fire and her baby was inside. Brianna was pronounced dead at the hospital. Police charged Henderson with arson, saying she was the one who set the house on fire. Chief Deputy Firefighter Mark Simmons says the fire started in 2 separate bedrooms.
Which would lead you to automatically believe that it's suspicious because it don't just start in 2 different places by itself.
Investigators are working to figure out whether baby Brianna was injured in the fire.
I need to back this up real quick. Because I don't know if y'all caught that, because I'm just now remembering this portion of the story because they didn't say it in the news website article. The fire in the house was set in 2 different places. 2 different places. She had every intention to kill this baby. But we're going to get to the motive here in a little bit. But I wanted y'all to catch that point. She set the fire not in 1 place, but 2 places in the house. That's easy for the fire department to figure that out, or whoever investigates it. That's easy for them to figure that out.
House on fire. Chief Deputy Firefighter Mark Simmons says the fire started in 2 separate bedrooms.
Which would lead you to automatically believe that it's suspicious because it don't just start in 2 different places by itself.
Investigators are working to figure out whether baby Brianna was injured in the fire or before the fire was set. The coroner has not yet released a cause of death. Brianna's father told us he wants people to know of his baby girl and the life she could have lived.
It was just heart-wrenching, to know that the baby and something like that can just go on doors from from where you live at.
Rock Hill police say the case is still under investigation and there could be more charges. In Rock Hill, Indira Esquiva, WCNC Charlotte.
Hold on, y'all. I got to try to kill this fly. Hold on. I don't know if I got him or not. Bet y'all probably missed. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's keep going. Here's the point that I want to make as far as the extra charges. Now, they didn't, like I said, they didn't specify it, but here's what the other charges could be. The baby's body, from what I understood, sustained some pretty heavy damage, okay? So it was a fire that was set intentionally to kill this baby. So the mother succeeded in what she was trying to do. But what else do y'all think that she might have been trying to do? I don't know if anybody caught this. I noticed nobody said it in the chat. She could have been trying to hide something. I'm going to throw out a scenario, because this is a very, very young baby that some people didn't think about. What if this alleged mother, what if maybe she had a boyfriend around and maybe they were abusing the baby? Is it possible that she could have been trying to cover up for a boyfriend? Possibly, yes. Option number 2. Look at where she lives at. I'm sorry, and I know that people might get on to my case, but let me show y'all a picture of this house because we need to talk about motive, okay? And I'm going to say money is the motive. Can y'all say that in the chat? Money is the motive for this baby's murder. Now, I'm not trying to diss people who are not that well off financially, but I will say this. This house looks like dog crap. I've seen horse stables that look better than this. I've seen pigsties that look better than this. Why am I taking a crap on the house? Here's why. Because that house looks broken. It looks broke. It looks poor. It looks disenfranchised. Why am I bringing that up? For this reason. Why I also talked about the life insurance earlier. Because people like this only have these children for the benefits that they can collect off of these children. What do we call that? Hashtag babies for benefits. Babies, when they usually have them, mothers, not all, but a lot of mothers are given Section 8 if they apply for it, food stamps if they apply for it, medical if they apply for it. You could also get child support if you apply for it. You could also get car vouchers if you apply for it. I don't want to hear people talk about, well, I didn't know about no car vouchers. Look it up. Google search it. I can't say every single city, every single county, every single state has it available, but a lot of them do. And a lot of mothers like this take advantage of those things if they are at their disposal. Let's just say maybe for some dumb reason, she didn't have access to that. So this baby is no longer a benefit to her. Maybe the man, the father, didn't want her crazy ass anymore. He only wanted to do the responsible thing and take care of his kid. So you know what she said? You know what, since you care about this baby more than me, what does a scorned individual like this woman do? I'm going to hurt what means the most to you. I'm going to hurt your kid. Yes, she could have very well done this just being an evil bitch. I cannot spell. That messed up the joke. She could be just being an evil witch to hurt the father. She could have been also covering up abuse to this baby. If she hit the baby, punched the baby, dropped the baby, anything like that, burn marks, smoke inhalation, burning the baby's body could hide a lot of these things. So what we're also hoping is that the coroners will be able to tell the story. The medical examiners will be able to tell us the full story if they can. It's going to be a very challenging thing to do so, but there might be a hell of a lot more to this story than we actually know. So we hope that they throw the book at her receding hairline and smack her right across the face. Hopefully it busts her head wide open. I hope that people in jail make an example out of her and let her know that this ain't right. What she did to that baby was inexcusable. Clearly there was a father there who wanted to be a father. You didn't want the baby? Give up custody. Why is that so hard? Or why have the kid at all? Don't have the kid then. Why put these babies through this? At the end of the day, it's between the biological mothers and biological fathers. And I'm going to tell y'all fellas, let me tell y'all something. We are the key to stopping this whole thing, or at least slowing it down. Let's talk about penis responsibility for a moment, if that's okay, ladies. Is it okay if we hold these fellas accountable for a moment, if that's okay? Maybe stop thinking with the little head, fellas, and start using the big head. I've been there. I've done that. I've let the little head outthink the big head in my life. So I'm speaking from experience. And I'm trying to teach my men, teach my young brothers, teach these upcoming teenagers, and understand that if you don't provide your seed, the soil can germinate no fruit. It can stop with us. by simply not giving up your seed. There are many ways to do so. I'm not going to tell you use a condom. I'm not going to tell you be abstinent. I'm not going to tell you get a vasectomy. I'm going to just say use penis responsibility. Or like Cartman says, responsibility. Start vetting these women. Stop thinking with your dick just because she might look cute. You might be bored. You ain't had none in a long time, right? There is no, look, I'm sorry. That's a beautiful baby. That is such a beautiful angel. Brianna, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm about to talk about your mama. There is nothing attractive about that individual on my screen. I don't know what type of wig she had on. I don't know what kind of makeup she slapped on. I don't know what kind of romper she had on. I don't know what she was wearing to look anywhere close to attractive to make a man want to sleep with her with no condom. She looking like a man. Ain't that right, Miss Swan? Yeah, She looking like a man. Flat out unattractive. Why does that even matter? Why do her looks matter? Because it should make your hard-on go, ew. Fellas. It should give you an incentive physically and hormonally not to sleep with this woman. She's clearly unstable. She's clearly slower than molasses. She's slower than a turtle in a turtle race. This woman is slower than global warming. There is nobody on planet Earth that should have been sleeping with her. Y'all talk about mental illness. Well, stop sleeping with people with mental illness. How about that? Can we have a little bit of responsibility? These babies can't do it. These babies can't speak for themselves. They can't defend themselves. They can't feed themselves. They cannot stop you adults from procreating with each other. That has to come down to us. We have to start holding each other accountable. Ladies, y'all got to start holding people like these accountable. Y'all know it's a bunch of bad ladies out there doing a bunch of bad stuff. Fellas, I'm trying to hold my fellas responsible. Penis responsibility, guys. And stop putting these babies at risk. If you're not going to marry these women, don't give them your seed. Ladies, if the man ain't going to marry you, don't make a baby by him. This beautiful angel lost her life for no reason. Young princess, Brianna, R.I.P. I'm going to tell y'all, that is a beautiful baby girl. Beautiful, big, brown eyes. Beautiful baby. She didn't deserve that. Thank y'all for listening with an open mind as well as an open heart. If what I say pisses you off that damn much that you got to email me, leave me threatening comments and all kind of other stupid stuff, take action in your city. Take action in your families. Take action in your own damn relationships. You become AFC when you advocate for children first and you do it at home. AFC starts at home. Okay? Thank y'all for listening. If we are at our correct thumbs up, I do have one more story that I want to tell you guys, if y'all don't mind. Is that okay with you guys? What's going on? Make This Go Viral TV in the building. Y'all know that is one of our friends and channel creators. Much love. Make sure y'all subscribe to Make This Go Viral TV in the building. Joshua Deemers in the building, as well as Leave It to Bieber. Y'all make sure to look her up. I know she's taking a little bit of a break. You got to do that sometimes, man. But shout out to all of our creators out there, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like I'm having deja vu, especially telling this particular story, because this story is eerie similar to a story we did. I have the date pulled up on August the 29th of 2021. Very similar. And in that story, there was a mother who had passed away from what we believe to be from some opioids. There were opioids that were found in the house. She passed away while her newborn baby died laying on her chest, and they didn't find this mother until like 2 to 3 days later. And the baby had survived by biting and chewing and gnawing on its hand, trying to find sustenance to survive. The baby went into survival mode. Now, why do I bring that video up? In the video, if you want to find it, it's called Newborn Baby Survives by Biting Hands While Laying on Dead Mother's Body for Days. It's a very short video. It's a very powerful video. And I believe this one is probably going to be just as equal magnitude, because the woman that you see on my screen, in my opinion, it seems like she passed away the same way. But they're trying to rule it that she died from natural causes. And I'm going to tell y'all something. This doesn't sound like natural causes. Not at 19 years old. Is it possible that you could just slump over and die? Yeah, anybody can. Yes. And death does not have an age attached to it. Death does not have a number. She's 19 years old. But let me tell you the story, and then I'll tell you my theory. Out of Milwaukee, and authorities found a woman dead with her baby still alive, and the mother may have died of natural causes. And they say may, so they might have to change that. The body of 19-year-old Audrey Autumn Davis was discovered Thursday morning near 27th in Wisconsin. The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office say an autopsy showed no signs of trauma. All that means is that it doesn't look like somebody did anything physical to her, or maybe she didn't do anything physical to herself. While natural causes appear to be her cause of death, results are still pending. And let me reiterate this. Results are still pending for her toxicology. The reason why that's huge is because a lot of you guys know that I lost a friend of mine last year, and she lost a close friend of hers, and both of these people together were very well loved and very well known in Oklahoma City, and they lost their lives due to trying to pop some pills to chill, relax, kick it, whatever it was, and those pills happened to be laced with a product called fentanyl. And we've talked about fentanyl all year long, even last year. It's very powerful, extremely powerful, that just the dust can kill an adult. And there are a bunch of pills that are going around that are laced. As a matter of fact, I've even heard stories. I don't know if some of you guys have heard this. There have been individuals who have already been arrested who were intentionally lacing pills with fentanyl. Absolutely disgusting. Davis, 3-month-old child, and we don't have a name for the baby yet, but the child was found laying on a bed and appeared to be very dehydrated. Milwaukee police are investigating the death of the woman found in her apartment with the child next to her, with the child alive next to her on Thursday, October 14th, which was only about 2 or 3 days ago. Police responded to the area of 27th in Wisconsin around 6:55 a.m. Thursday for a call regarding a foul odor coming from the apartments. Remember I told you guys about the smell of death and a dead body? It is unmistakable, and it is impossible to not smell. Only a crazy person can be around the smell, like that type of odor, and not immediately think that something is wrong. When the police got there, they had to force entry into the apartment, and they located her body along with the young baby, believed to be about 2 or 3 months old. And that's about the only image I have of that baby. And that's the latest image of that baby right there. So you guys can use your imagination for the rest. First responders reportedly rushed the infant to Children's Wisconsin to receive immediate care, but the baby is expected to be okay, but not the mother. And I'm going to tell you guys, I have a theory, and I believe, just like some of my friends, just like some of these other stories, that this mother might have been using some illicit drugs that might have been tainted with a product called fentanyl. I could even tell you guys a little bit of my story when it comes to fentanyl here in just a moment. But give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Yes, and I know some people are asking right now, you said, and some of these questions I've already answered, so I'm sorry if you didn't catch it. The baby they believed to be about 2 to 3 months old. And yes, the mother was 19 years old. Just had a baby, no husband. Go figure. If you guys are listening, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up, share this story, and let more people know that we're here. So for as many people who are watching, that's how many thumbs up we want to have, okay? I'm going to say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. So if you can't handle that, I get it, I understand. But let me show you guys the news videos first, okay?
A tragic story in Milwaukee tonight where police say they found the 19-year-old body of a woman dead in her apartment, her baby still alive. Stephanie Haynes spoke to neighbors who made the call.
It was the smell coming from an apartment in this building near 29th in Wisconsin that prompted neighbors to call the police Thursday morning.
I live right across the hall from her. Our apartments almost face each other.
Okay.
And so we was smelling a funny smell, you know.
Okay.
So we always kind of getting on edge.
When police arrived, they found a 19-year-old woman dead and a baby alive.
As the smell got stronger, I knew it was the smell of death. I know that smell.
Did you ever hear the baby cry?
No, that's strange. That is very strange. And when they was kicking the door and bam like that, that baby still never cried. The baby cried when they picked it up.
Police took the baby to the hospital to get checked out. The maintenance worker told us off camera he thinks the baby is about 3 months old. He said the woman hadn't lived at this apartment complex very long and said he hadn't seen her in a few days. What do you say to her family?
The family already been here, half of them, and I don't know what to say.
It makes me very sad that happened. Now they got a baby somewhere that don't have a mom.
We don't know how the woman died or how long she had been there until the medical examiner finishes an autopsy. In the meantime, neighbors are desperate to know what happened.
Nobody even knows really what happened. You know, it's a big apartment building. A lot of people in there.
If I don't see you 3 to 4 days, I'm going to check on you. I'm going to check on you. And I feel like as neighbors, we should do that more.
In Milwaukee, Stephanie Haynes, TMJ4 News.
Thanks for joining us on TMJ4 News at 4. I'm Steve Shamraz. A heartbreaking story to bring you at the top of this hour. Milwaukee police say they found a 19-year-old mother dead this morning. Her baby was still alive and has been taken to the hospital for evaluation. This was all happening at an apartment complex near 28th in Wisconsin. Police say they were there to check on reports of a bad smell. No word yet on the baby's condition or how mom died. We do have a crew at the scene right now working to learn more about what happened.
So I guess what this means is if you smell something, say something. Does that have to be our new hashtag? Rather than if you see something, say something. If you smell something, say something. The smell of death, and some people in the chat already understand what that smell is like. There is nothing else that smells like death at all. It's an unforgettable, unbelievable smell. Very distinctive. Very, very bad smell. The type of stuff that could give you nightmares. You smell that, and you should absolutely be on the phone with the damn authorities. There's no way that this should go days and days and days, people living there, and didn't think to call.
And we begin with breaking news. Milwaukee police say they found a 19-year-old woman dead in her apartment and her baby alive.
Stephanie Haynes is live at 28th in Wisconsin with the latest on the story. Stephanie.
Police say they took the baby to the hospital to make sure he or she is okay. Meantime, neighbors in this apartment building say they called the police because of a smell that was coming from the woman's apartment. So police say they got the call around 7 this morning. They went inside the woman's apartment. That's where they found the 19-year-old woman and a baby. A maintenance man said the woman hadn't lived here for very long. He hadn't seen her in a few days, and he thinks the baby was about 3 months old. Neighbors say this is tragic, and they need to look out for each other more.
If I don't see you 3 to 4 days, I'm going to check on you. I'm going to check on you. And I feel like as neighbors, we should do that more.
I live right across the hall from her. Our apartments almost face each other.
Okay.
And so we was smelling a funny smell, you know.
Okay.
So we always kind of getting on edge here.
You never heard the baby cry?
No, she pretty much stayed to herself.
Police are still investigating. We do not know how she died. That is something that we're going to find out once the medical examiner does an autopsy. For now, live in Milwaukee, Stephanie Haynes, TMJ4 News.
Thank goodness for those alert neighbors. Stephanie, thank you very much.
9th in Wisconsin. 12 News' Hillary Mintz tells us what neighbors did to possibly save the baby's life.
Because that is death. I know what death smells like.
Sensing something was wrong, Vera Cowley says she called police Thursday morning.
As soon as they got there, they smelled the smell, and they busted the door down.
Once inside the apartment, first responders found the body of 19-year-old Audrey Davis.
I heard the man say, the fire department say, it's a baby in here.
My bad. Let me tell you guys something. I got to be real with y'all here just for a moment. I know the mic wasn't on. My bad. But I got to be real honest, and I mean no disrespect to the residents that lived here. But I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't believe that the smell just one day got strong as hell, and then they decided to call police. Here's what I believe. I believe that the smell had been there for a while, and it got progressively worse and worse and worse by the hour, by the day, and then eventually, once they couldn't take it anymore, then they decided to call police. They decided to call police, and that smell had been around. And matter of fact, somebody in the chat said you could smell that death smell from a distance. It is indescribable. It is extremely bad. And now y'all, I know y'all remember that story that we told up in the Philly area about the man who got a ride from a lady, and that lady had decomposing bodies in her car of those little kids. And he said he knew that the car smelled horrible, but he needed a ride. And I don't mean to harp on the brother, because I know he understands where I'm coming from. So I'm sorry that I'm bringing that back up. But we become so disconnected when you smell that and you could ignore it like it's the wildest thing ever. We just have to be way more aware than that.
But her 3-month-old baby boy, possibly alone for days, was alive. Do you think you saved this little baby's life?
I think so. When they found that baby, I just burst out crying.
I think they got lucky, to be honest with you. Baltimore, thank you. That was Baltimore. My bad. Not Philly. It was Baltimore. In the same vicinity, but that was Baltimore for sure. Be more. Yes, they saved this baby's life. I think they got lucky. They got very, very lucky.
Baby had been in there for several days. That's amazing.
Another neighbor took these pictures of mom and baby Sunday. It was the last time she saw them together.
She came in with the baby, and I spoke to her because I was like, Audrey, let me see the baby. She said, wait 1 minute, and she went in the house, but she never came back out. I'm like, man, something is wrong. I ain't seen Audrey or heard from Audrey. Something is not right.
The baby was taken to Children's Hospital to be checked out. It's unclear right now how this woman died. The medical examiner's office is investigating, and police, as you can see on scene here, still trying to figure out what happened. The medical examiner's office says the mother's death is being called suspicious. Family members were too distraught to speak on camera, but neighbors...
There you go. They named the death suspicious. That's a start for my theory.
Say they're just thankful the baby survived.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle because we ain't heard that baby cry. I'm just glad I got that baby out of there.
In Milwaukee, Hillary Mintz, WISN 12 News.
That is our big story at 10. We're learning more about a 19-year-old woman found dead inside her Milwaukee apartment.
Her infant son was found alive. Cassidy Williams has more on how police made that discovery.
Neighbors tell me they smelled something horrible coming from this apartment for days. They knew a baby was inside and dialed 911.
I said, y'all got to get over here right now. ASAP. It's death downstairs.
Vera Cowley knew something wasn't right when the smell from the apartment below her kept getting worse.
She really don't smell death until it sits a week like she did.
You notice they said when the smell got worse, then she called. So if she knows the smell of death, like she says she does, and Vera, I mean, no disrespect, sweetheart, but if you know it that well, the moment that you smell something that smelled off, you should have been calling the police. Again, that's why I said they got lucky, but they're calling her a hero. I'm not trying to pee on her parade, but I'm sorry, I don't want to make her out and to be a heroine either. She got lucky, and they let that smell linger and linger and linger. If there's any smell at all, I'm sorry. If I live in an apartment complex, if you can smell it, if you smell something, say something. That's going to be our new hashtag. If you smell something, say something. What do y'all think that the mother died from? I have a theory. Tell you about it here in a minute. But tell me what you guys think in the comment section.
And that's when I knew.
Vera called 911 Thursday morning. When police arrived, they found a 19-year-old woman dead. Her baby also inside, alive. Police say he was taken to the hospital to be checked.
She just had him on July 4th, so that's why it was kind of puzzling to me, like how did she die?
Paige Martin says she knew the woman for years. She came by the apartment Thursday when she heard, looking for answers.
I just don't know what happened. She was just saying, like, she always been that type of person, like, I'm gonna make it to 20. Like, I'm gonna make it to 21. I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna make it.
As police...
What? I didn't hear this the first time. Let me rewind this. What kind of conversation is that? Let me let y'all hear this again.
She was just saying, like, she always been that type of person, like, I'm gonna make it to 20. Like, I'm gonna make it to 21. I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna make it. I was just saying, like, she always been that type of person, like, I'm gonna make it to 20. Like, I'm gonna make it to 21. I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna make it.
What kind of stupid ass conversation is that? Come on, please. Somebody please tell me, am I tripping? What kind of stupid conversation are y'all having? I'm gonna make it to 21. Who talks like that? Huh? What?
Looking for answers.
I just don't know what happened.
Thank you. Somebody in the chat caught it. What kind of lifestyle were you living in order to even have a mindset like that? Again, we're talking about the narrative of what caused the mother's death. They said it's suspicious. I have a theory. Let's listen at this stupid conversation again.
She was just saying, like, she always been that type of person, like, I'm gonna make it to 20. Like, I'm gonna make it to 21. I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna make it.
As police investigate, Martin is remembering her life.
She was...
Oh my god. Look, now y'all gonna get mad at me. Look, I know y'all gonna get... Don't you do it, damn it. Don't you do it. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Don't you do it. Don't you get mad at me because I'm about to talk about this random ass doorknob that the news station Fox 6, fox6now.com decided to zoom in on that doorknob that looks like it came from World War I. Not even World War II. That wood looked like it came out of World War I. Come on, man. Now, I understand that the residents might be poor, but damn, like, does the apartment complex, y'all can't take out a loan to get a regular freaking door? Oh my goodness. Y'all couldn't take out a PPP loan to fix the damn doorknob? Come on, man. Really? Y'all couldn't get no pandemic relief to at least put some nails in the damn door guard? Golly. Look, I'm going to rewind this because I know, look, don't you start. Stop it. Don't you start. Don't sit there and act like that you watch this and you realize, why did they show that door until I brought it up? Look at this again. Why would they just zoom in on the door? That boy, oof. Young lady, I'm sorry. I know they caught you at a bad moment. I don't mean no disrespect, sister. But damn. Damn.
I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna make it.
As police investigate, Martin is remembering her life.
She was real loving.
Why did they zoom in on that World War II doorknob? Look at that.
I ain't gonna die. I'm gonna make it.
As police investigate, Martin is remembering her life.
She was real loving, sweet, kind, real.
And Cowley hopes this is a reminder to look out for each other.
I feel like as neighbors to one another, we should love one another and check on one another more.
We should learn more once the autopsy is complete. Reporting from Milwaukee, Cassidy Williams, Fox 6 News.
Milwaukee police have not yet released that woman's name as they work to contact her family.
Well, we've already put her name out there, so I guess the family already knows. Here's my theory for everybody who came to hear my commentary about the news and not just the damn news. Here we go. I believe that this woman, just like a lot of other young black folks, I can't speak for every other community. I come from the black community, so I can speak on things that pertain to the black community. I know people say, other people do it too in their communities. Well, fine, that could be the case, but I'm going to focus on what I know. And I know that our people have a propensity to do a lot of smoking weed that's laced with stuff, drink stuff, like drinking lean, which is a big thing out here in Texas. I don't know how we're in 2021 and niggas is still drinking lean. Like, I didn't even know that was something we were still doing. Drinking that purple stuff, right? But this ain't purple stuff. This is ISO detox tea, not purple stuff. Anyway, this ain't purple stuff either. That's ocean spray, not purple stuff. We also have a propensity to pop pills, pop mollies, pop Xannies, pop this, pop that, pop pussy. We do a whole lot of popping things, right? That we shouldn't be. Including that last thing. It's actually a pretty good joke. But I'm going to assume that this mother was not forced into taking any drugs. I think she took something that was laced. It was laced with fentanyl. That is a mere guess. But I'm assuming when the real full report comes out, I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to hear. That it was something she took, it was in her system, and it knocked her out. Here's the other portion about where I was going to tell you guys a little about my personal story. Sip it on some scissor. Yeah, exactly. Promethazine and all of that other crazy stuff. Anyway, my personal story. I had to go in for a procedure recently to check on my health, to make sure that I'm good, because I care about my health. I'm a grown-ass man, and I'm like, hey, look, we got to start taking better care of our health, of our blood pressure, of our weight, what we eat, what we drink, how we sleep. We got to start taking care. Like, everybody can relate to that message, okay? We got to do better. But I'm just proactive about mine because I want to do better, because I haven't always done very well by my health, okay? But they gave me something in order to do this procedure that was going to put me to sleep for a small amount of time, and they said about 30 minutes. So they ended up giving me some stuff, and I took it, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm going to see how long this is going to take. I'm going to try to fight it. They're asking me questions. I'm talking to them. Next thing I know, I'm lifting my head up like, what happened? Oh, you're done. I'm like, what just happened? And I remember that they told me that the stuff that they had given me, and I knew this beforehand, so I don't want y'all to think that they slipped me something. They didn't. I knew that it had a very small, very hard to calculate, like, I forget the measurement of it, but there was a very small measurement of fentanyl in what they gave me. I mean, it was so small, like it was like 4 or 5 something. I don't know what you call it. Very, very tiny. Like you'd have to look it up under a microscope. That's how small it was. And I'm going to tell you, that stuff knocked me out so quick, I didn't even know what happened. It was kind of good to the point of where, okay, they were able to do what they needed to do. I wake up, everything is fine. I woke up, I was able to stand, walk, talk, do everything. Eat, drink, everything. I was good. The scary part about it was how easily it took you down, like it was Chris Brown, take you down. Almost like you was on South Park. Y'all remember Chef on South Park? I want to make love to you, woman. Want to take you down by the fire? When they took me down by the fire, and I didn't even micrograms, I don't know what it was, but it was something I was like, damn, like, that did it? And had me out. Just like Punch Out. Mario was just standing over me just counting. 1, 2. I was out. And didn't even, and it was so smooth. It was so smooth. I didn't even feel myself laying down. I didn't feel myself get dizzy. I didn't feel myself get sleepy. I didn't feel a damn thing. That's what scared me after the fact. That's what's, y'all said micrograms. That's what scared me after the fact. It was that smooth. And to know that 5 micrograms of fentanyl was able to put me out, and I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'3". I was about 290 pounds. I'm closer to about 270, 280 now because I'm losing weight. But able to put somebody like me completely down. Could y'all imagine having enough powder on these pills that these young folks continue to keep taking and popping, and it knock them out like that and they don't even feel it? They just wake up and they're sitting next to Jesus. That's all she wrote. You leave behind your kids. You leave behind your family. You leave behind your loved ones. You leave behind everybody in the blink of an eye. And you don't think it's going to do that. But this is also should serve as a lesson. And I want y'all to remember, the reason that I'm talking about this is because we can't save this mother's life. But guess whose life we can save? Another mother who might be doing the same thing that she did. What we suspect that she did. It could save somebody else's life. The point is not to try to bring back these lives. The point is to try to go out into the world tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the month after to try to save more lives. That's what we believe in doing at the AFC every single day. Dedicate our lives to advocating for children first and making our world a better place each and every moment that we get an opportunity to do so. I hope you guys listen to the story with an open mind as well as an open heart. To the family and friends of this young mother, I definitely wish her an RIP. Audrey Davis was a very, very, very young mother. In my opinion, 19 is just too young to be a parent. It's too young to pass away. To that baby, I hope that that baby ends up in the hands of somebody who is going to raise this baby to the fullest potential, and that this baby can grow up and become something great and make its mother proud. Thank y'all so much for listening to this story. See you guys on the next story, okay? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap us up. I thank you all so much for listening. And thank you. We had 2 more people donate while I was talking. So I'm going to say thank you to Tara with a D, last name D. Tara, thank you for your Cash App. And let me make sure I can say your name. A blessing to catch you live when I can. Aloha. Seahawks fan, if you are in the building, I got to say thank you. I don't know if you're still in there. Seahawks fan, much love. It's always an honor. Thank you so much. You have a great day. Have a great night. See you on the next stream. Peace. Subscribe to the channel.
Nora's Authentic Designer has some of the most glamorous and stylish handbags your girl has ever seen. So ladies, if you want to get fly, and fellas, if you want to take care of your lady, please be sure to go to www.noras915.com. www.noras915.com. That's right, www.noras915.com.
Hello listeners, come mask up with Keyline Designs, where you reap what we sow. We offer essential handcrafted face masks made with 100% cotton, equipped with a built-in filter and a slot for refillable filters. Our masks have many uses like riding motorcycles, ATVs, while out in public places, outside exercising, lawn and gardening, and helps prevent the spread of germs. We offer bling, sports logos, monograms, many assorted fabrics and colors. We make child-sized masks starting at the age of 2. Come join us today for the launch of our new website at keylinedesigns.com. Please be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook. Our links can be found in the description box of this video. Thank you.
Check out this wonderful organization that I'm proud to be a part of. It's called Bags for Kids, BAGS4KIDS.org. And check out their website. They really help a lot of kids in foster care, giving them a permanent piece of luggage and also a lot of items that they might need so that they feel that they belong, which they do. So go to the website, bags4kids.org. So go for it. It's a great place and they're doing great work.
Exclusive new products that you will only see on my website at www.sayitwithchess.com. These products are made special by my mother, Keyline Designs. The hoodie blankie, the face mask, as well as the 4-in-1 African head wrap. Now the way it works, it is a reversible bonnet. It has a headband that you can wear alone. It has a matching face mask as well. Please be sure to go over to our website and check out these nice new products that you will not find anywhere else.
All right. Hopefully